AITA for giving my fiance a taste of his own logical medicine. Today, my fiance and I argued about the term hypertrophy and its focus. He believes it primarily involves muscular stamina and endurance, while I know it's mainly about muscle growth. The disagreement escalated, and I got frustrated saying, I study this shit, so I know what it means. He rebutted with, well, my dad studied this and he succeeded, so shrugs. This comment hurt my feelings because it felt like he was disregarding my credibility, despite knowing how much effort I put into fitness. Also, it just felt like he was trying to just say something to hurt me. After a moment, I opened up to him and told him how his comment hurt me. He responded, I was just bouncing the ball back to you because you started with, I studied that shit, blah, blah, blah. Going by logic, I just passed the ball back. So, if you don't like that kind of reaction, then don't start it. FYI, my fiance often uses logic and objective POVs in arguments, which can sometimes make me feel like my feelings are dismissed. 6 years into the relationship, and 6 years of telling him how sometimes him being logical ends up hurting my feelings. He still does this. Here's where I tried to give him a taste of his own logical medicine, as I have had enough. Me. I get that you were thinking logically, but it hurt when you said that. If we're only being logical here, you're implying it's my fault I was hurt because I started it. So if I didn't say anything, you wouldn't have reacted, right? Good to know it's my doing as usual. He replied, again, you're putting words in my mouth. I'm sorry you feel this way, but there's no use in playing the victim. I responded, I'm not playing the victim, I'm being logical. I was hoping for an apology earlier, but logically it should come from me since it all started with me, right? He said, I never said you needed to apologize. I countered, if you wanted to apologize, you would have done it after I told you how I felt. But instead you told me it was only logical for you to react that way, and that if I don't like your reaction, then I shouldn't start it. Logically, that means if I didn't start it, you wouldn't have reacted that way, and I wouldn't be telling you how hurt I was, because there wouldn't be anything to be hurt about, since you wouldn't have had a reaction if I didn't start anything. So, I'm not filling in your words. I'm just applying logic. He then said, I said sorry. So, I don't know what more you want from me? At this point, a sorry through text while being accused of playing the victim wasn't enough for me. I responded, you can figure it out yourself since you're so good at logic. I know all this is a bit petty, but I've honestly had enough of this shit. So, am I the asshole? Can a relationship survive and thrive after cheating? I've been grappling with a tough situation and am seeking some insight. Is it possible for someone who has cheated to truly regret it afterward? Are there any couples who have been through infidelity but managed to stay together and find happiness again? I've mostly heard negative stories, but I know there are some who have rebuilt their relationships. If two people genuinely love each other and are devastated by the infidelity, crying and expressing their love daily, can this difficult period potentially lead to a stronger relationship? Here's a bit of context. The cheating lasted for 3 months, stemming from one partner feeling unwanted. For over a year, I had rejected intimate advances, even kissing, although I deeply love my partner. I didn't have a sex drive, but after he cheated, our intimacy improved, and I found myself wanting him again. Is this weird? Am I wrong? I need to mention that for a few months I had been writing to a guy from a different country, but it was just writing. Despite this, we really love each other, and I can feel this strongly in the past days. We are both devastated and crying, and the guilt he feels for what he did seems so genuine. We've been communicating and getting along better than in the last 3 years. Could this be a lesson for us to grow stronger and realize that we need to be together? Can anyone share positive stories or advice on how to navigate this challenging time and rebuild trust and connection? Suspicious activity. So lately, my life feels like it has been falling apart. I work in cement and rebar construction and work from 4 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday. Thursday. I've been working overtime every day and almost every Saturday to support my family, and also so my wife doesn't have to work. We hardly ever have sex, and she acts like me wanted her as repulsive, or she always has an excuse that her body part has issues and needs to go to the doctor. I never questioned her body issues and left it alone. What's caught my suspicion is that we have nanny cams in the house, and I'll come home to them being turned away or unplugged. I've also noticed that the driveway camera never goes off when she leaves or comes home, but will go off when I leave at 3 a.m. and return home at 7 p.m. So recently I set up more nanny cameras that are much smaller throughout the house, battery powered now and screwed into the ceiling or set someone where high. I have found out that she masturbates every day inserting toys and whatnot, but also appears to be taking pictures or videos with her phone. I've tried initiation sex and was received with the same thing that her lady parts hurt and burn, and she needs to go to the doctor. I haven't confronted about the video evidence yet. I snooped through her phone several times when she was asleep, and I couldn't find anything. I'm assuming she is deleting the app or messages. I'm not too techie, so don't know how to look. I have noticed that she used Snapchat because it was in her download history, but I'm assuming she deletes it before I get home. I have a feeling she's been cheating, but I don't know if I'm being too paranoid and accusing her. Everyone has the right to their private time, and I don't want her to feel singled out. What has been throwing me off is that she will find anything to argue about and complain that I work too much, or we don't have enough money for what the family needs. She also tells all her friends and family how horrible I am and how badly I treat her, which is a complete lie. I've never raised my voice at her, but I read messages where she has accused me of all these things. I'm assuming to justify her behavior if she's cheating. I guess my main question is, am I being too paranoid and suspicious of her? I don't want to accuse her of cheating unless I have hard evidence, which I currently don't. She is also my only friend in person that I talk to every day. So it's making me feel like I'm constantly sick and want to throw up. Any recommendation or advice is much appreciated. Thank you all,